Okay. Hmm. So let's start with the levels overview. So level is an aggregation of data. So it's like if you are viewing the data at the country level or state level or site level, or maybe in the item hierarchy, or if you're viewing them it's like at the item level or product family level or product category level. So these are your levels of data. So at what level you want to aggregate the data and view the data is the levels overview. So examples of levels are like customers, site belonging to the customer. So each instance within a level is called as a level member. So like for example, for an state, you have uh, for a state if you have like for a country like you have US, UK, India. So these are the instances of a level. So these are level members. Same way like for item, if you have iPhone 6, iPhone 5s, iPhone 6s, these are all level members. The types of levels. So types of level are four types of item levels, location levels, time level, and combination levels. Item levels form your product hierarchy. So, for example, your items, product category, product family, product then item description. All these are form your item hierarchy. So, like any product hierarchy. So, if you have brand, segment, all these are your item hierarchy. So, these are the types of level types will be item. For locations are the ones where you sell your product or to whom you sell your product or store your product, like your warehouses, your retail stores, your customer sites, states, uh, customer sites, states, then countries. So all these will form your location hierarchy. Operating unit, business unit, these all will be your location hierarchy. Time level will be levels related to a time unit, like you have month, fiscal week, year, fiscal year. So that will form your time levels. Then you have combination level. So combination level is the combination of item and location. So one level which corresponds to one item and one particular location, like a planner. So if you have a planner A01,
Kumar, are you sharing something?
okay, let me share my screen. From my end, let me check.
Kumar, this is Naveen here.
Yeah.
One doubt on the level member, UK, then the states, then
Hmm.
the item, those being the level members. So
Hmm.
isn't when you talk about level member, isn't it like country, state, city, territory, then the item, and US, maybe Ohio, Cleveland, iPhone 6 being the level member values? Isn't that how it should be represented?
See,
Trying to
there's
get the correct technical terminology.
okay. So there is a level and there is a level member. There are two things, right? So level is your the abstract type which you have, like the at what aggregation you want to see, like you that your state, country. These will like country is a level, but if you call UK, US, India, these will be level members. The instances of the level will be level members.
Okay.
Is it clear to you now?
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
way, if you have a item is a level. The iPhone 6, iPhone 5, iPhone 4S, all these will be your level members. Okay, same way, say if you have an operating business unit. So the operating business unit is a level, but within that, if you have what all units you will have, there will be the examples of the business units. Like say if it's an electronics it's some companies there, so it has acoustics division or maybe acoustics business unit or electronics business unit or so these will be your operating level members. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Then we were discussing the level types. So you have four types: item levels, location levels, time levels, combination levels. So combination levels are the levels which belong to an item and a location, like planner. So the planner, you have planner code A01, A02, A03 suppose. So A01 is going to plan for an item iPhone 6s at the location of US. Similarly, A02 is going to plan for item, say Nokia Lumia at the location UK. So so for a one item and location combination of planner, there is a corresponding planner. So we call these combinations as these levels as combination types. Same way, if you have a do for, so do for means a do forecast. So whether a combination has to be forecasted or not. So an item iPhone in a UK location needs to be forecasted, but an item iPhone 4 is not supposed to be forecasted in Africa. So so do for will be set as zero there. So that's how. So the do forecast will be a combination level. So item level groups the data according to the characteristics of the item sold. Location groups the data according to the characteristics of the locations where the items are sold. Time level groups the data by sales date. Combination level groups the data according to the time independent characteristics of item and location combinations, also known as matrix levels. General levels will group the data by item, location, and time. General level groups General levels are used in promotions to model marketing promotions. So if you have any level other than these four types of levels, we call them as general levels. So for example, you want a level for promotions. So item, location, and promotion. So buy one get one free promotion is there, and you want what will be the effect of the promotion on the sales of an item location for an item at a particular location. So we can have them at a general level. Same way, if you have um, some promotion like the price reduced by 50%. So that promotion will what effect will it have at the item and location you want to see? So so that will be a general promotion is a general level, and your level number for this general level would be 50% promotion like that. So the hierarchy is the user interface. Uh, what the sequence of the items is called as the sequence of the levels is called as the level hierarchies. Like the Demantra user interface displays level hierarchies.
Kumar, the question.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to the previous slide.
Mm-hmm.
So the time level is always grouped by just sales rate.
Yeah, because that will always be by sales rate only. But the thing is that you may have different levels of viewing the date, but there is only one type of date in here, which is sales date.
Okay.
Okay. Like say some item is being sold somewhere, you want to see the by what amount it has been sold, but on particular week, or maybe you want to see for a particular year. Maybe you want to see it for a particular fiscal week or a fiscal year. Maybe you want to see it on that date only. So these will be time levels, right? The sales date is not just the sales date, but sales date will also be the forecast date. It also means that uh, any date. Uh, so sales date is a term which we use in Demantra for representing date. Okay.
Okay.
So in past it could be sales date, in future it could be the forecast date, but the term is sales date only.
Okay. Got it.
Hmm. So hierarchy is like item, above item you have product category, above item you have product family. So one item product category will be a hierarchy like this. So the sequence of the levels is called as a hierarchy. So the item is the lowest level and product category is a higher level. Product family is above item and is as a parallel to product category. Then you have organization same way. So these boxes represent your item hierarchies, and these globes represent your location hierarchies. So organization is the lowest level here. Then above organization you have operating unit, and above operating unit you have a business group. So this is like your hierarchy. Then above organization you can also have line of business directly. So that's another hierarchy. Same way for site, you have site, account, customer, customer class. So site being the lowest, customer class being the highest level. Okay. Multiple hierarchies, multiple independent hierarchies can be used. Each hierarchy, so these are called multiple independent hierarchies. Like item and product category is one hierarchy, item and product family is another hierarchy. So these are multiple independent hierarchies. So each hierarchy can contain many levels. Here, the product family and product category hierarchies are independent of each other. Same way, you have organization, operating unit, business group hierarchy, and organization and line of business is another hierarchy. Same way, organization, branch, city is another hierarchy. So this site, account, customer, customer class, this is one hierarchy. Above site, you can also have customer city. This is another hierarchy. Next is level attributes. So any properties or characteristics of a level is called as a level hierarchy. So for example, you have country or state. So you can have zip code as a property, as an attribute of that level. So country can have a zip code as the level attribute. Same way if you have item. So the color or maybe shape can be one particular attribute of that level. So the properties of a level are called as level attributes. So level attributes are descriptive properties associated with the member. Each member can have different values for each attribute. So this, for an attribute, we will have one column in the table corresponding to that level. So level attributes provide additional information about the level members or can be used to further group the level data. Level attributes can be used in several ways to provide additional information about the levels that can be viewed and edited by the users on the worksheet. To view the attributes of a level, the user can right-click a member within a level. So if you right-click on a level member, then it will open up a constructor. So you can just, we'll discuss this later, but we'll have one window which will open up and there it will show the attributes of that level. Attributes can be created as child levels to provide further subgrouping of the level data. So you can create the attributes. So you can have a child level and then the child level can also be used as an attribute in the level member, in the level. So attributes can be used in the integration interface definition for exporting and importing also the information. Promotional attributes are converted to promotional causal factors that is used by the analytical engine. These are some utilities of level attributes. So once a level is defined, it can be associated with other Demantra entities. You can associate units to a level. So, so you have level associations. So what all is associated with level? So methods, which are the right-click options of a level on a level in worksheet, they are associated with levels. Then you have worksheets which are associated with levels. We have seen this, that worksheets are associated with levels while we were creating uh, embedded worksheets. Then we saw that all the worksheets were associated with a level, and from the components we make them visible on a level. So you can associate units to a level. The association is used in worksheet as only the units associated with a level can be used within a worksheet. So when you create the units, so it will ask you whether you want, so to which level will it correspond to. For example, uh, you can have a UOM associated with item, a unit called UOM associated with an item, which can have for liquids, which can have values like liters, or for solids, it can have values in kgs or in pieces, right? So when you create, say for cost, you can have units like dollars or uh, rupees or euros. So all those things you can associate them with the levels. Then you can associate methods with levels. Methods are available as right-click options for the users. Based on the security configuration of a method can be available on all the worksheets or in a specific worksheet, but they're always associated with a level. So you can associate a level with the worksheets also. The user can either use right-click on a member to display open with option, or can display the worksheet for a subset of the levels as a sub-tab on the worksheet. Now default level member. So when you will create level member, it will ask you if you want to give any default level member for that particular level. So you can select one here. So this is given for the parent level. So we'll select the parent level. So maybe whenever a new entry will come, its parent level should automatically be given by default, or you will be giving as part of the data load. Next is member identifier. So we have seen that for items it is boxes, uh, for the locations it is globe, and for every level member you will have a description and a code field. Code field is the internal ID of the level member, and the description is the name or the description field of the level member. Then creating new levels. We'll see how we'll create new levels. Okay, now coming to business modeler. This icon is for level now, configuration of levels, and you can also have from configure levels. These are two ways you can go to this screen. So here you will see you have different types of levels. So these are item levels, and these are organization levels. These are the combination levels. Now this is an older version, so the general levels are not there by default. But in new versions you will have them. So if you will see on a particular level, so you can either create a new level or you can use the seeded levels. So if I show you the seeded levels, so I right click on a level. If I go to open, it will show me the properties like general properties. So here you give the you can this by default this item name you can change this name. Okay, maybe if you want to name item as SKU, so you can change that name. Then you have type like product type. This is a default. This is a seeded level, so this is frozen. But if you create a new level, then it will show you what type of level you want to create. Then you can give the icon of the path. So this is the image which how it will display you the the icon. So the for an icon you can have an image in some folder and you can select the icon path and the icon URL for that. Then you have status. If it is enabled, then only it will be enabled. If you will disable it, then it will not be used. Then you can select the child level, but since it is the lowest level, so it is not showing you the child level. If we go to some higher level, it will show you the child level. So for example, on brand if I go. So here you see item is the child level, right? Now, if you want to create this child level as an attribute of this level, then you can check this. Check this option, create as attribute. Then you can give any hint message to it, and then you have an order at what order of the hierarchy it is. Then you give the table name. So there will be a table name associated to every level. So you will where the data for that level will be stored. So you will have this table name. In Demantra, all the tables for the levels are like which starts from T underscore EP, and their IDs will be starting from T underscore EP underscore something, then end with underscore EP underscore ID. So the primary keys of this table will be like this, and your code field will be like P2A. So whatever you have in between, that will be the code field, and underscore DESC will form a description field for that particular level. For example, you have an item as a level, so you will have T underscore EP underscore item as the table name. Its key field, which is the ID field, which will have a unique code number for it, like 1234, like that. It will have TEP item EPID column. Then you will have item as a code field. So like you have M001, M002, these are your part numbers. So these will be in your item field. So you have description for that item. Like, so this M001 is um, some granite of 2 kg. So you can have granites 2 kg as an item description. like that. Or iPhone 6s golden color, iPhone 6s black color. So these can be your descriptions. So those are so that will come in your description field. Then you have attributes. So you can create attributes for that. Now here they have already created a higher level as an attribute of the brand. So in this hierarchy, the higher level is an attribute of the lower level. Like you have segment as the attribute. So you have the table for the segment, and its primary key of the segment table will be a foreign key in the table for the in the brand level table, and it will less of the details it will take on its own. And then from here the attributes, you can create an attribute table also. Like if I create like this, so you can have an add, so it will give you a new attribute. You can give the name here, its column name here, and then you can select and create as a level. So that new attributes table, level table can also be created. Okay. Cancel. Now you can create a new level also. Like from here, you can have a new level. If a new level is there, you can give a new level's name, you can give its type, whether it's a product level, location level, combination level, time level, or general level. And then you can give the icon with what image it needs to be shown. So if you select any particular level, then it will automatically give the icons. Or if you select a combination level, so the icons by default icon which you have for the combination that will come. Then you will enable it or enable it for use. Then you can select what could be the child level for this, and you can create it as an attribute. Yeah, I give then here you give this table. You will create the table, and you can it will ask for the table name. If I create the item cross, so it will automatically create this table in the backend. And or you can, if you have already created, you can select from the list of the tables what is the table name. But if you create here the table name, it will automatically create the table name with at least these columns. And then you can give the attributes for that.
Kumar.
Yeah.
So these whatever your levels you are creating, are they given to you by the business, or are you creating based on requirement? How does it work?
Yeah. So we analyze their business requirements, and then we will create them. Okay, I'll cover a case study with you on this.
Okay.
Okay. So then here you can select the parent level. Now since this level is some uh, new level, so it is not showing you that, but you can have the defaults. So here see it shows went on brand. For brand, the parent level it shows a segment, and it asks you what should the default value of the parent level. Okay, so that defaults will come. Then you have delete, so you can delete a level also from here. Then level members. So what all level members you have, it will show you. Like you see, in brand it shows you Apple, Samsung, Nokia, Motorola. These are the present brands in the system. So you can add more also from the data load. So some more brands can also come. Okay, so this is how you create the levels.
So when you create that level, Kumar, So there is a table that you mentioned, right? It will
Hmm.
create a table. So what schema it will be under? The user schema that user
Yes,
logged in?
yes. It will
Okay.
be a user schema. So like there will be for Demantra, there will be a separate schema, right? So whatever the schema is there for Demantra, in that schema it will create.
So there are multiple users using this system, and if they try to create the same name, it will override or it will give a
No, for
message.
all the users, there will be common levels only.
Okay.
Only thing is you may give restricted access to the level members to a particular user. So for example, there's a country and there is a user who belongs to UK. So you want to make him view the data only pertaining to UK, okay, and not other countries. So you can select that. Like he should be only UK's data should be visible to this user.
Yeah. So my question is, let's say this is one instance, right? And we are logging into the same thing, Naveen and myself. And can we create the same table name if we are
No,
doing some?
no,
Okay.
no. So there has to be a unique table name for both of you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, because there will be only common schema for all the users.
Okay.
So this was about the levels. So once you'll create the new level, then it will not be visible directly into the worksheet. You will have to make it visible in the components first. So like you go to components. So here you go to levels. So you see here all these levels have got full control. So full control. But by default, like this lowest location level or lowest item level you see, although they are not visible in your location, all of them have got. Okay, so by default these will not be enabled. So there will be a big cross of this like this. There will be this cross on this. That means it will not be visible to you in the worksheet if you log in with them. So you give them full control or system default or read only access. So these access you have to give. So first, by default, it will be no access. You will have to go and give them the full control or system default access you will have to give. Okay, so by selecting that, then only it will be visible to you in the worksheet. So user can select new levels in the worksheet in the aggregation free tab, so that you have seen. This some hierarchy. Okay. So let's cover a business scenario. For example, you have a retail store wherein you pick up the and you only sell cell phones. So you pick up the cell phones from various companies and you store them in various locations in various warehouses and then you sell it to the customers at various sites. Okay. So now for example you are taking, let me open an Excel. Give me a second. let's cover a business scenario. Say you are a retailer and you are selling cell phones. Now you take the products from different brands. You take the cell phone of different brands like Apple, Samsung, Nokia, or Motorola. Okay, so you cover various brands. So you take the products from various brands, and so you can have some. So they could be smartphones, or they could be normal phones. Okay, any type of phones they could be, and then you have. Um, so this is how, and then you are selling them at. And you're storing them at various warehouses. So you have maybe some warehouse in US and some warehouse in UK. You may have some in China, in India. Okay, so you have some warehouses in these locations, and so they are in different locations in geographies and states in these countries, and then you are selling it to customers at various locations, like same country or nearby countries you're selling it in India, Bangladesh, or in US, Canada, like this. Now they say that I buy the products like Apple iPhone 6, iPhone 5, or maybe iPhone 4S, right? So Samsung, I buy products like Samsung Duos, S2Os, brand. Maybe Nokia, I buy Lumia, Nokia 32, 33, or maybe 1619. And Motorola, I buy Moto G2, Moto G1, or maybe some other products like uh, Moto Junior, something like that. Okay, and then so now they say that uh, we categorize them in segments which are like smartphones and which are not no smartphones, which are like normal phones. Or you may be selling accessories also. So like in case of this, you might be uh, selling Apple headphones, and same way you might be selling Samsung headphones, and say some Nokia charger you're selling, and Motorola battery you're selling, like that. So you can have accessory segment also. Okay, so that's how you're going to categorize them, and then there will be only one category, and everything will belong to this category, which will be all like that. So these criteria will form your hierarchy. How are you going to make the hierarchy? So when I'm going to select the item levels, whichever is the lowest level items they are selling, I'll make them all of them under category called as item. So this I will form them as the lowest level. And then there'll be brand. So I can categorize these items into some brand. So I should be in a position such that my one particular item should belong to one brand only. It should not be like two or three items belong to. It should not be like this iPhone 5 belongs to various brands like Apple and Samsung, Nokia, all of these brands. No. So one particular item should correspond to only one type of brand. Same way, only one type of brand should correspond to one type of segment. Then only segment can be a higher level to a brand. And same way for a category. So category should be so one's particular segment level member should belong to one particular category only. So now if you have Apple, so you will have Apple belonging to accessories. I mean, one particular iPhone, if I talk about, which belongs to brand iPhone, so this should belong to only one of them, either smartphone, normal, or accessory. So it should not be like that Apple is belonging to more than one of the segments. Okay. So how will I form? And same way you have somewhere.
No, the last one, Apple can belong to more than one segment,
Yeah.
right?
So that's why it can belong to one more than one segment, but we will map the hierarchy in such a way that it should not. Okay, so we have to discard some of it like that. So then maybe I have to make segment under brand. Okay, so then my hierarchy will be item, segment, brand, and then category.
But the way you switch brand or segment, then smartphone can belong to Apple or Samsung or Nokia or Motorola, right? It's a combination that will give you a unique smartphone.
Yeah, so or maybe then we'll have to make them different hierarchies, parallel hierarchies. Okay, so we'll have two hierarchies. One will item brand, and other will be item segment category. Okay, could you get the point? It's all about how.
Uh,
Hmm.
I didn't get that parallel hierarchy concept.
See, there could be two ways of categorizing the same thing, right? So, like, if I can have two brand and segment, I can have a smartphone as well as a brand like Apple. So now there could be two ways of categorizing my items. One way is I'm categorizing them based upon my brands, and other ways I'm categorizing them based upon the segment,
Mhm.
right? So there could be two ways. So you can have parallel hierarchies for that. Like item, so one item can belong to one particular brand, and the same item can belong to one particular segment also. So there will be two parallel hierarchies I'll create.
Okay.
Okay, because I may want to view the data for all the smartphones. What is my aggregated data for all the smartphones? I may
Okay.
need to do it
So you are
product wise.
basically creating two hierarchies. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
One as item segment category and another as item brand
brand
category.
hierarchy. Yes, so these are independent hierarchies.
Okay.
Okay, like you can have product family and product category. These will be two independent hierarchies. So you
Okay.
might be categorizing them based on some category, you might be categorizing them based on some family.
Hmm.
So basically it's the form fit and functions which will come into picture here. Okay, while categorizing the items.
Okay.
So So I can have items. So there will be some brands I'll put here. So how can I categorize them then? I Let me list them down first. iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 4S, then I have Apple headphones, then you have Duos, let me pull them here. Then to what segment will they belong? So segment, say if it's a smartphone, then all these are smartphones. Then if it's a normal phone, you can have a normal phone. Then if it's an accessory, then you can have an accessory, battery, charger. So now here you will not have any. Yes. So you will not have any multiple hierarchy here, right? So no phone belongs to multiple segments. In the same way, if I have to categorize them, then all we have this one category which is all cell phones. Now brands, if you want, then we will have uh, brands like Apple. We'll have all two brands. Samsung. Okay, so you created some parallel brand for that. Now you have another uh, type of level which is coming in, say okay, say you have another type of level coming in, like type, item type. Okay, so maybe it says that my item type will uh, either be like phones or maybe accessories. So how will you categorize them? So where should the item type lie? Can any one of you tell me whether it should be a parallel hierarchy or whether where it should come in?
It should not be a parallel hierarchy, right?
Okay, then where should it fit in? If it has to be in this hierarchy or in above brand hierarchy or in the
So
item
it should
segment
be in
hierarchy.
between segment and category.
Yes. So it should be somewhere in between here. Okay, so this is a simple scenario of mapping the hierarchies and creating the hierarchies in Demantra. Okay, so you can have an item type here, and then so phones you will cover here, and your accessories should come here. Okay, so like this. Now there is some other type of hierarchy which is coming in, which is like category. Now category is like it is mm, we say launch type. No, sorry, build type. So some categories there like compact phones and big phones. Okay, so you have compact phones and big phones. These are the two types of categories which are there. So Suman, can you tell me where will you place this level? Whether you'll create a new hierarchy or you will place it in one of these two hierarchies, how will you do that?
So it's not covering everything because accessories are not covered.
Hmm.
So not sure.
Okay, so there could be two ways of doing it based on your business scenario. One way is you can just create a parallel, uh, let's call it as phone type. Okay, so this phone type can come either as a part of this hierarchy or it can come as a part of a new hierarchy. So you can just create a totally new hierarchy phone type, right? So for this you will have for all these uh, compact phones and big phones, you are going to just map them whichever item they belong to, and wherever you have accessories, you can just map it to NA, not associated. NA, NA category, NA phone type, or maybe you can just pull in within somewhere between segment or between. I think between segment and item you can pull it in with the same type of configuration. So that again depends upon your business scenario. Where do you want to put it in? Okay, but you can create a parallel here. In this case, you can create a parallel hierarchy also, and you can put it in somewhere in between item and segment also. Okay, then let's come to location hierarchy. So, for
Uh,
example, yeah.
Suma, before we move on,
Hmm.
let's say um, we have the lowest level as item here, right?
Hmm.
Let's say, for example, it may not be a business case when it comes to phone, but
Hmm.
it could be a case for a lot of different other items, wherein the same item could be manufactured by different manufacturers,
Okay.
different brands,
So you have
right?
different parts for them, is it?
It's a like let's say for example the industry that I'm familiar with is the semiconductor industry,
Okay.
Okay, so the same microchip could be manufactured by, let's say, International Rectifier and say Samsung.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the same item being manufactured by different brands. So in this case, like if I want to use the same set of data, let's say iPhone 5 is manufactured by both Samsung and Apple.
Okay.
Say for example,
Hmm. So the
uh,
question to you is that are they viewing it as different part numbers, or are they viewing it with the same name? I mean, is Apple calling iPhone 5 is iPhone 5 and Samsung calling it also iPhone 5, or it is calling it iPhone 5 1?
it will be called as iPhone 5
Same name.
because when it comes to semiconductor industry, you have a microchip. Every the microchip manufactured by every manufacturer, because that microchip is identified by the name that the nomenclature that is given to it.
Yeah, so that's
That
what
will
I'm
be
asking.
common
The
across all
same.
the manufacturers.
Yeah, so the nomenclature is same across all the manufacturers. Then you need not create a separate item. You can just create it one item, and you will view the data for an item. And manufacturer can be um, your one level member in your location hierarchy. It can be a different. You can have a manufacturer hierarchy separately,
Mhm.
and then for you will view the data respect to one item and manufacturer combination. Okay. So one way is if you have the same part number, then you can create another manufacturer hierarchy. Then you can view the data for one item and one manufacturer. So say whatever is the sales on some particular date, whatever is the sales, you view that. Okay, so you can have two separate hierarchies, manufacturer and item hierarchy, and then you can view it with respect to that. So if you have some microchip, so this microchip can be related to manufacturer, say M1 and M2, and then you can have, say, for with M1 the sales was 10, for M2 the sales was 50, like this. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Another way is you can give separate names to the two items, and or maybe you can create this is one way of doing it. Another way is you can have an item, and you can, like we have brands. So instead of brand, you can have manufacturer. Okay, so like
Yeah.
iPhone. No, but there will be multiple hierarchy, right? With iPhone 5. So this way it will not be possible. So this way only it will be okay.
Should be a combination then, right?
Right, right. It should be a combination. The only thing you have to avoid is that there should not be multiple hierarchy. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
And
hmm.
does the customer part number also typically get used in item hierarchies?
Yes. So you asked me this question earlier also, the MPN and CPN, right? So
Yeah.
there could be a customer part number, there could be a manufacturer part number. See, that depends upon the business. What type, what dimension you want to give to the business in Demantra. Whether you want to bring in the customer part numbers, or you want to bring in only item part numbers, or you want to bring in both. If you want to bring in both, then you can have parallel hierarchies for both customer part numbers and the manufacturer part numbers. And one lowest level of item will correspond to one particular customer part number and one particular MPN. Okay?
Or it can also be a customer part number in the same example. Uh, there can be a hierarchy before the item also, right, as a customer part
Yeah,
number.
so maybe you have a CPN also here,
Hmm.
which is like M1, M001, M. Okay, like this you can have. So this one thing, iPhone 5 and M001 can be one lowest level for you in item. Okay, so this is nothing but just for viewing purpose only.
Okay.
So CPN or so this will be one lowest level because you can have multiple lowest levels amongst items. You can have multiple lowest levels amongst locations.
Okay.
I hope I'm not confusing you guys.
No.
Okay, fine. Then next is the warehouse or the location hierarchy to talk about. And I'm storing these products in some warehouses. Okay, my warehouse is one in China, one is in US, and say one is in India. And these are selling the products to customers in Bangladesh, India, China, US, Canada, and say, okay, I think that's all. So then this particular warehouse, China warehouse, the China warehouse is catering to Bangladesh customers and China customers. Same way India warehouse is corresponding to, and we may add something like Nepal also. So India warehouse is catering to Indian customers as well as Nepalese customers, and US warehouse is catering to Canada and US. Okay, so we can form these two as the lowest location levels. So we can have separate hierarchies for this. Now you could have multiple hierarchies for warehouse, like warehouse state can be there, right? Or warehouse country can be there, or you can have geography, continent, like these you can have. And these are quite easy to map. These hierarchies are generally not very difficult because location hierarchies are generally very crystal defined. It is always the item hierarchy which is confusing. And then you have customers, state, and customers, um, country. Okay. Then you could have something like business unit and business unit group. So these belongs to warehouse hierarchy. Okay, so the customer will belong to customer states. Like Bangladesh customer has a state like Dhaka, suppose. China has it Shanghai. India has it New Delhi. Nepal has it with Kathmandu. Canada is in say British Columbia. And US is say New York. Okay, and business unit is above the warehouse, suppose. Like some business unit is there, um, Mm, suppose you have one business unit like American business unit, okay, and one business unit is Asian business unit. So maybe this will belong to American business unit and American business unit and India, and all these are like Asian business unit. And say you have business unit group, say your company name is only XYZ and you are doing here XYZ. Okay, so all belong to XYZ business unit group. So that's how you can create your warehouse and customer hierarchies. So these will be two different lowest level hierarchies, and so one warehouse and one customer will form one hierarchy. And then so corresponding sales and countries will be there. Is it okay? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So now say you have another combination like um, product engineer. Okay. So there is one combination level called product engineer. This product engineer caters to the planning of one item, say Apple, at the location US warehouse for the customers um, belonging to Canada. So this one particular combination will correspond to this PE. Okay. Same way, another one handles to Samsung in the India location, India warehouse for Bangladesh, or sorry, for Nepal, Nepal customer. So you can have this as one from this product engineer PE1 is there and PE2 is there. Okay, so this can be another combination hierarchy. Is this clear to you? Naveen and Suman?
So what are these? So India is for Nepal. The warehouse is located in India
These are
for the
warehouse,
Nepal.
this is customer,
Okay.
this is item, and so this is product engineer. Okay, so this can be another combination hierarchy, combination level. So I will give you an example of combination level. So PE can be a combination level. Okay.
Yep.
Hmm. So that's how we form the hierarchies. So tomorrow we'll cover series. We'll start from series and I'll give you one exercise based upon this. Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Sure.
So let's catch up tomorrow again at the same time.
Yeah.
And
So that the presentation, I think you said Santosh will upload somewhere, right? The slides.
no, he will upload the recordings. He will give you the recordings.
The one yesterday, I think we could not record.
No, but yesterday's slides I covered today, right? So we started from level. We what we did yesterday was we worked on worksheets. And slides, what we
Okay.
did, I started with levels only. So I covered them today.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank you.
any doubts up till now? Because if you will have doubts, otherwise tomorrow I will have doubts. So so it's good if you ask it today.
Yeah, I think I'll just go through it and probably come back with questions.
Okay, fine.
But I think so far it was okay.
Okay, fine then. Fine. Good then.
Yeah.
Catch up
Thank you.
to you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
Bye.